This was part of a state mandate that if you wanted to secure grant funding, you had to have a vulnerability assessment.
The Flagler Beach City Commission devoted time in their last meeting to a presentation on the countywide flood vulnerability assessment, a state-mandated study mapping risks from storm surge, tidal flooding, and sea level rise. Commissioners emphasized the Intracoastal Waterway as the city's biggest challenge. Commission Chair James Sherman.
What did your vulnerability assessment show about the Intracoastal Waterway? Because I think that's probably our biggest issue we're having here in the city. I think that's the biggest source of flooding in our community when we have these tidal events. Obviously, we've hardened day 1A to an extent, but what did your vulnerability assessment show? What contributing factors are causing this? This is something that, we definitely want to address as a board and probably at a regional level.
Andrew Prokopiak is the Senior Resiliency Planner at the Northeast Florida Regional Council.
This should be addressed at a regional level, at a state level, at a local level, at a county level. It should be a combined effort. But yes, the Intercoastal Waterway is. You can see in northern Flagler there just how deep that water will get in some of these compound flood events. So yes, absolutely, the Intercoastal is just gonna surge unless you mitigate that. And mitigating that is going to be inherently difficult based on all of the built environment that you have in coastal Flagler County. But
are you able to disclose anything in the adaptation plan that's being proposed or is that something that you're not at liberty to say just yet?
Since it's still a draft plan, we're still working through some of that, but we are really working hard in trying to avoid just adding more seawalls and avoid more bulkheads.
The vulnerability assessment and upcoming adaptation plan will guide future flood mitigation projects and serve as the key to unlocking state and federal funding. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Tuesday, September 2nd. Flagler County Sheriff deputies braved heavy rain and knee-high mud Thursday night to rescue a man lost in Princess Place Preserve. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Using teamwork and technology, dispatchers and deputies in the field, assisted by the park ranger at Princess Place Preserve, located a lost hiker in a marshy area of the park. He had been hiking and got lost, and shortly after 10 p.m. called 911 saying that he'd been lost for over an hour and could not find his way back to his car. The weather was extremely bad, and Fireflight and other local helicopters could not fly because of the weather, and our drones could not fly until the very end. Using drone technology when the weather cleared and deputies walking through a very wet, marshy area with water over the lower part of their legs was able to rescue and bring the guy out. Flagler County paramedics checked him, determined that he was okay. This is a good example of teamwork, but more importantly, it's also an example on why you should let someone know when you're hiking, where you are going, and use technology on your phone so you can find your car if you're going to go deep in the woods off traditional trails. I commend the team for a great effort in very tough conditions.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, conveniently located right off I-95 at exit 311.
It's a shot across the bow.
That's how Flagler County property appraiser Jay Gardner describes the tax document that recently hit mailboxes.
Trim notices have gone out. You probably have yours by now. TRIM stands for Truth in Millage. It's sort of a rough draft of what you can expect when your tax bill actually comes. Read it over carefully. Gardner says if something doesn't look right, this is the time to question it.
It is your chance to contact the property appraiser's office if you think we're wrong, and that's what people are doing right now. We're getting a lot of calls, a lot of visits to the office so they can discuss why their taxes are where they are.
Your trim notice is chock full of information.
The stuff on there is required by statute, and it's going to tell you basically all the information from the prior year.
The next column is the one that will have you crossing your fingers.
It's going to show you what it would be if they did rollback. Rollback is simply a rate they come up with that goes times their taxable values that would not be a tax increase. Then the third column is what they're budgeting, which is typically more than the middle column. That's the one you need to be looking at. The yellow column down at the bottom.
Don't pay it, it's not the final bill. In fact, there'll be opportunity for public discussion before the actual bills are issued.
Also post on there, you'll notice all the first meetings for the taxing authority, so you can show up and discuss where your money's going.
The next public budget hearing is September 11th at 5 p.m. in the Government Services Complex. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Lee Show with your WNZF local sports update.
The Matanzas Pirates met the University Titans for the first time ever in the WNZF Game of the Week Friday night. Just 70 seconds in, the Pirates fired the cannons. Back to throw, looking downfield, wide open, Schendorf, 40, 30, 20, 10, Jordan Schendorf for a Pirate touchdown, and they lead 6-0. Jordan Schendorf's 65-yarder was the first of his 3 touchdowns in the game.
Coming out first drive, we knew they were in a cover one look, so we knew it was man coverage. And I looked behind me, there was nothing but green grass.
Cole Walker tossed 3 touchdowns.
The defense was still trying to figure out where to line up, so I went to the side where the 2 guys looked confused, and he just left Jordan wide open on the sideline.
University scored late in the first to take a 7-6 lead. In the second, the Titans scored again to make it 14-6. The Pirates responded.
Handoff to Peterson, off the right side, inside the 10, the 5, touchdown Pirates!
James Peterson's 24-yard run made it 14-12. Lineman Kenneth Roberts helped pave the way.
Up front, we just stick to the game plan that Coach got us with,
On the next Pirate possession, Schendorf had back-to-back runs to score a 1-yard TD and the 2-point conversion. A goal line stand by the Pirates in the final seconds of the half held the Titans to a field goal. Matanzas led 20-17 at the break. Schendorf caught Walker's second touchdown midway through the third to extend the lead to 26-17. On the last play of the quarter, University was in the shadow of their own goalpost. Britton waiting for the snap. He has it now. Steps into it. It's blocked! Blocked! Picked up in the end zone by the Pirates! Riley Roberts' block was recovered by Jack Ferguson. Ferguson on the score.
Coach originally called it receiving the ball. I was like, nah, Coach, let's go block it. I see my guy Riley block it. Saw it in the end zone, first touchdown ever. I jumped on it. I was so excited.
Up 33-17 in the fourth, the Pirates found the end zone one more time.
Bass in motion, he gets the pitch. He's got a lot of room out there. He's going to walk into the end zone.
Cole Walker shoveled to Andrew Bass for his third touchdown. Bass finished with 10 catches. Walker's 314 yards broke Ethan DiTilio's school record of 303. Pirates win 43-24. They head to Deltona Friday. Despite 13 Nolan Caliendo receptions, 3 turnovers were too much for the Bulldogs to overcome in a 28-19 upset loss to Lake Howell at Sal Campanella Stadium Friday. Rich and I hit the road this Friday with the Bulldogs when they face Mainland in Daytona. We are your home for local sports. We're back on Friday. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.